Good evening and welcome to another small, this time, video from me, Voice of the Forge. And this video has been done to further explain the aims and objectives of the Forgotten Forge Games project. Now, if I were to do it in an elevator pitch, like in a nutshell, basically we are providing space for gamers who have either a mental health issue or some kind of social anxiety issue that can't join regular clubs because they're either too big, too noisy, or they get lost in the crowd. So what we do is provide a safe space which is managed for people to come along in much smaller groups than you'd normally see, and enjoy and play their games. And the idea is that our groups are open to everybody, but because of the ethos that we have a lot of people basically, instead of asking others to change the way they play and the way in which their clubs function, is to set about doing our own thing. And these include things like having consoles available so that, say for instance, people have an interest in music, they can play Rocksmith. We make scenery and models from various different games available so people can paint, whether scenery or miniatures. It's occupational, just like learning to play the guitar is with Rocksmith. And the rest of the time people play card games. We have a small selection for sale, but we also have members that are quite happy to go through their collections, and cards that they have no need of they donate to the club, and then people can come in and they can try building their own decks with a limited pool of cards to face off against each other, because we've got cards there which for games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, My Little Pony, they all have different tastes, and they don't have to always put their hand in the pocket to be able to play the games. So we not only do we provide the space, but we also provide the means. We try to bring as many board games as we possibly can to the fore. At the moment our board games are limited because we are reliant on members bringing the board games they have in, but we are hoping to vastly expand what we have board game wise, because again that means we can break the groups down into smaller groups and have that much more fun as games players, without having all the stress and all the hassle of having to go to a game store where you don't know anybody and people will be expecting you to buy, or go to the bigger clubs where there are maybe 60 or 70 people in attendance, and the noise and the bustle just isn't for the people that want to go. So they're quite alienated from the core of the hobby, and this is a way of bringing the hobby to them. We have set up as a community interest company. We are working with a military charity called the HDLF, and we are going to be moving premises from where we are right now to hopefully some premises that will be better for people and closer to town. We are always trying to find ways in which we can better people's lives, and some of the input that we have received means that if we can, we'll start a painting studio for two very talented painters that we have, so that they can turn around and possibly get commissions for their work, and that then will then allow them to lead an independent and fulfilling life without being reliant on benefits, but be able to do something in their own way. Basically, the club exists to lift people up and to help them if they are having social anxieties or other issues. Because we're working with a military charity that deals with things like PTSD and everything else, it also means that we do have peer mentoring, and we have people that oversee that side of things as well. If people do have issues, there is someone for them to talk to outside of the club. which I think is something that is quite useful for at least a couple of our members, myself not included. So that's just a quick roundup of what Forgotten Forge Games actually does, in addition to the normal things that people do. Thank you very much for listening. As I said, this is only a quick one, just to provide a bit more information, and if you have any questions, please feel free to either contact me on Twitter at VoiceOfTheForge or leave a comment on this channel. Thank you for listening, and hope you have a good evening.